How's it going, everybody? Data here, and welcome back to the Seattle Kraken franchise mode, episode number 12, here at the beginning of the 2024 postseason, year number 3 playoffs, ready to rock and roll. In the last one, we had a really strong second half of the season. We ended off the first half just at 500. I believe we were 20-20-2. In the second half of the season, we went something like 24-13-3. Was that it? And we ended with a record of 44-33-5. Actually, well, the numbers are right there. I can just deduce the numbers, so I was actually right. The memory serves me well after a lot of Christmas turkey. Hope that you all had a wonderful Christmas and are enjoying a fantastic holiday break right now. I know from some of you over in the Discord server that either you or some of your loved ones are dealing with some sicknesses and some tough circumstances right now. So I hope that for the next 20, 30, 40 minutes, maybe an hour plus, whatever this length of this video is, you can just kind of turn it off and relax, put the feet up, get a snack. And that's a perfect time right now because it is the playoff episode. If it's your first time here on the channel, you'll notice that this episode is over an hour long, maybe an hour 10, hour 20, hour 30, who knows. I do that so that it is not spoiled. It could be that we lose in the first round in 20 minutes and then it's just an hour of a black screen. I know that I lose some YouTube engagement and there's some loss on the monetization, but I'd rather take a hit of a few dollars than have the video spoiled because you see that it's 28 minutes long. So don't be fooled. We are going to be reacting to this playoff run at the exact same time together. On the first line, Matty Beniers, Vinny Trocheck, and Vladimir Tarasenko, we found that this was a good match, as the second line of Palat, McKinnon, and Eberle was killing it. We picked up Jordan Eberle for the second half of the regular season. It was a great suggestion because he put up 29 points in 41 games. He's been a great addition for us in the top 6 and on the power play. Schwartz, McCann, Donskoy has been a solid enough third line. Zuccarello, Gambrel, and Lind. We picked up Matt Zuccarello at the trade deadline. He played, what, 18? Yeah, 18 games, 5 points. Not too bad for a fourth liner. Defense, Bean Bear, Alexiak Pulak, Lozon, and Fleury. And goaltending, we picked up Ben Bishop from the Edmonton Oilers. Ever since he came here, he put up a pretty solid record. Not as good as Edmonton, but 20, 10, and 4. 2 shutouts, 904 save percentage, 2.70 goals against average, and we're ready to ride with him into the playoffs. Scratches, we have Tanev, Appleton, and Gus the Bus, and then Dennis Chalsky, of course, still injured until about a month from now, if not exactly a month from now. He was the best defenseman on our team when he got injured. So it was a great season from the top 6, career highs for Beniers, Palat, even Schwartz had a career high in assists. Even there was a lot of good point scoring. Just we struggled a bit defensively, and hopefully Ben Bishop can continue to stay strong and be what we need between the pipes, because we are in a very tough matchup here against the Kings. Very evenly matched. We have one more win than them. We went 44-33-5. They went 43-33-6. We score a little bit more than them, but they defend a little bit better than us. Our power play is not as good as theirs, and our penalty kill is not as good as theirs. So although we have the scoring, they seem to have the defense and the special teams down. But hey, they don't ask how you get to the dance, they just ask what you did on the dance floor. So all that's washed away, and we're ready to go here in our third postseason. Year number 1, we lost in Game 7 of Round 2. Year number 2, we lost in Game 5 of Round 1. And after I was really just squeaking into the playoffs. But this year, we're coming in strong. The Kings are 3-6-1 in their last 10. And I never said we were cup contenders, but we're looking to make our mark on the NHL here in our third season in the league, 2024. I did ask in the last one if there were any thoughts for suggestions moving into the playoffs, but it seems like we're going to go full steam ahead. Vinny says, I don't think there should be any sort of big changes going into the playoffs. The team is performing really well with all the suggestions lately, and we should keep it that way. Thank you to all the assistant GMs. Let's hope for a good playoff success and go Kraken. Thank you, Vinny. Michael says, first things first, hope you're enjoying your break. Every GM needs to step away and recharge. That's absolutely what I'm doing right now. Still going to be enjoying the holiday break a little bit, but the uploads are coming back now that Christmas has passed. Second, thumbnail just warms my heart and has a rent-free residence in my head. Thank you. I always love hearing feedback on the thumbnails. And third, 3 seasons, 3 playoff berths. This series is starting to get the Minnesota Wild vibes from last year. Definitely a series worth 25 seasons in my opinion. Now let's get Kraken lacking and go on this playoff run. Thank you very much, Michael. Grievous, no suggestions. The team looks great. Good luck in the playoffs, and hopefully the draft yields you future studs. You can say that again. So thank you to the assistant GMs for all of that. What I want to quickly finish off with before we go into the game 1 of round 1 is just getting a refresher on the LA Kings lines right here. The Kings have, you wouldn't think on paper maybe, but they get it done. Anze Kopitar, despite being an 82 overall, has all those X factors and still had a 73-point season. He's on the top line with Patrice Bergeron and Anthony Beauvillier. Yefalo, Turcotte, and Kempe on the second line. Velarde, Danault, and Kaliev on the third. Suter, Byfield, Gaudette on the fourth. It's a pretty solid lineup through and through. No big crazy stars above an 86 overall, but also no one lower than an 81. Defensively, Doughty, Clark, Anderson, Letang, DeHaan, and Stetcher. Letang on that second pair at the age of 36, still getting it done. In goaltending, it's Vitek Vanacek backed up by Cam Talbot. Scratches are also quite serviceable as well. So it's a good team with a lot of depth throughout the lineup. That's what we're going to have to get through here in this LA Kings team that wants to capture some of that glory from about a decade ago. Some of those players are still here. Kopitar, Doughty, they want to taste the nectar of Lord Stanley once more. So getting into the beginning of round number 1 now, like I said, if we are to lose in round 1 or round 2 or whatever, and there's just 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes of a black screen at the end, I'm just going to put some music, let it run for a little bit. I would very much appreciate you just letting it run. It does help the channel and the, I guess, the algorithms a lot, so I would appreciate if you just let it run for a little bit. No matter how far we go in this playoff run, the video length is going to be what it is, so I'd appreciate you just going through it as much as possible. But put all that on the side. We have a Stanley Cup to chase here. Game 1, round 1, at home, Climate Pledge Arena. We won that last game of the year against Calgary to give us home ice. So let's take advantage of that here in Seattle for our 3rd season, 3rd time in the dance. Let's hit the dance floor. First period, 3-0. Okay. Jaden Schwartz, Jordan Eberle, his first playoff goal as a Kraken, and then Andre Palat, one of our original expansion draftees. Schwartz, original team member, but from free agency. So great to see that. Shot 16-6 through the first period. 3-0 Kraken. Second period now 5-0. Matt Zuccarello, who came from the trade deadline, and Jeremy Lauzon, who was the original expansion draftee from the Bruins, only really cracked the NHL this year because of Cholowski injury. And my goodness, it's 5-0, almost tripling the Kings' shots through 40 minutes. How about that for a statement in game number 1? And that's without the big dogs. No Beniers, no Tarasenko, and it's 5-0. No McKinnon. Power play goal, Eberle second of the night. This is what we needed to see. The depth coming through, scoring by committee when it's needed. Not really needed tonight. There's the hat trick for Jordan Eberle at home, his first playoff game as a Kraken, and he gets the 3rd of the night to make it 7-0. Call it a 19 save shutout for Ben Bishop, and how about that to start off the playoffs? 3 goals and 2 assists for Jordan Eberle, a goal and 3 assists for Palat, 19 save shutout for Ben Bishop, 7-0 Kraken. How do you do? See you tomorrow night. Wow, how about that to start off the playoffs? Sheesh, Bishop looking solid as well. We do have Craig Anderson backing him up. We got him off waivers. I forgot to mention that. That's a bit of a Cinderella story we have going as well. He is very likely going to retire after this season. So Ben Bishop, 42 years of age, 80 overall. We got him off waivers, and he went 10-9-0, just about a 900 save percentage and under 3 goals against. Not horrible numbers for a backup, especially when we were really struggling in our goaltending with Philip Gustafsson. Not the great numbers there last year's playoffs, but in this year's season, 1-5-1, 851 save percentage. 3.83 goals against. Last year in the playoffs, though, Gus did shine in the 20 shots that he faced. So, worst case, I guess Gus could come in, as he has seemed to prove himself a little bit. But that's all maybes and plan C's and plan D's. Let's keep on rolling, keep the momentum going, pedal to the metal. Game 2, round 1, at home, up 1-0. Jordan Eberle walking a couple inches taller today. First period, 1-0 Kraken. Vinny Trocheck on Vitek Vanacek. 1-0 Kraken. Second period now 3-2. So Kopitar scores the first goal of the series after Ben Bishop has just over 5 shutout periods. The captain, Vladimir Tarasenko, restores our lead just 20 seconds later. Minute and a half after that, Alex Turcotte ties the game back up, and then Nate MacKinnon gives us the lead with his first Kraken playoff goal. 3-2 Seattle, headed into the third period, shots 25-17 in our favor. Now the big dogs are coming out as that period saw goals from the captain and from Nate MacKinnon, the $11 million man. Halfway through this third period, still holding on to a 1-goal lead. It's a tight one. Power play opportunity, 5-on-3, 5-on-4. Great penalty killing by the Kings. They're still hanging on. Under a minute to go with their goalie pulled, but we hang on tight. And we outshot them 34-26 in this one. We're really getting there offensively. And Vinny Trocheck, first star goal and an assist. Beniers, 2 assists. Nathan MacKinnon, game-winning goal as the third star. 3-2 victory in game number 2, and we are now up 2-0 in this series. 6 points in 2 games for Jordan Eberle. Wow, you just love to see that. Let's keep it going at the Staples Center, going just a little more south now from Seattle down to LA. Let's do it. Isn't it the crypto.com something? Is that what it's called now? Maybe. I know for the Lakers it's different, not sure for the Kings, but I digress. First period, 0-0. First scoreless period of the series. Second period now, 2-0 Kings. That's the first time they have the lead this series. Pius Patrick Kane-Suter at 8:50, and then Beauvillier just 35 seconds later. 2-0 Kings, shots 25-18 for LA. Power play LA to 5-on-3 to start off the period. We kill it off. Power play in our favor now. That's killed off. We got to get back into this one ASAP. If, no, but Patrice Bergeron, in front of the home fans, they're coming out tonight. 3-0 for LA. As we just can't get anything past Vitek Vanacek tonight after scoring 10 goals in the first 2 games. Under 3 to go now, but tonight Vitek Vanacek will get the shutout. 29 saves for him. Got to give it to him. 3-0 Kings the final. 29 save shutout. Bergeron goal and assist. Letang 2 assists. The Quebec connection. And this series is now 2-1 as the Kings win that game in front of the home fans. Taking a quick check around the NHL, just around the Western Conference mostly here. Every other series is tied at 2. No, Hawks are up 3-0 over the Blues. Jets, Canucks, Oilers, Coyotes, all tied at 2 through 4 games. Game number 4 for us now. We don't want to tie it up 2-2. We want to take a 3-1 series lead and not let it go back home and make it a best of 3. Let's really take advantage of those first 2 games and not let up now after Vanacek really came out last game. First period, 3-1 Kings. Sheesh. Kopitar scores early. Bergeron just 20 seconds after that. Jake Bean on the power play. Great to see that. But then Gabe Vilardi 8 minutes later. So 3-1 Kings. Shots only 12-10. 4 goals on 22 shots between the two of us. Second period, we need a big one. Danault scores shorthanded. Of course he does. Legend. But then Nate MacKinnon scores shorthanded as well. So we swap shorthanded goals. Shots are 21-20 through 40. And we are down by 2 headed into the third. We really got to see some of that scoring by committee from game number 1 come back right here. Power play LA to start off the period. We kill that off very nicely. 5 minutes through, shots are tied at 23. We're taking the lead in the shots slightly now. The offense needs to come out with under 10 to go. Power play Seattle. This is big, but LA kills it off despite us pulling away in the shots. Vitek Vanacek is standing his ground. And through 4 games, we're going to be all tied up at 2. We outshot LA 34-29. But we dropped that one 5-2 the final. Vanacek, 32 saves. After getting shamed the first couple games, he is really coming back with a vengeance. So 2-2 series. Let's take a pause here to check out who's killing it on the Kings and where can we maybe make some changes ourselves. So it's really the big boys for LA here. Bergeron 5 points in 4 games. Letang point per game. Kopitar with a couple goals and 3 points. But they haven't been doing too much offensively. Everyone has a point or 2. But they haven't been doing anything too crazy. It's really Vanacek right now. Despite the 3 goals against average, has a .915 save percentage. That tells you that he's saving a lot of shots despite that game where things were a bit lopsided in like the 7-0 game there. For us, on the other hand, we have Eberle with 6, MacKinnon with 5, Palat with 4. So that's 3 players at point per game or above. 2 players with 3 points, and then it moves down where there's a bunch with 2 and 1 and so forth. When it comes to Ben Bishop, going to look at the goalies here, he has a .916 save percentage, only .001 better, but 2.25 goals against average. So the goaltending has been quite evenly matched. It really comes down to the scoring. And they've had good special teams. They've been killing a lot of our power plays, despite that game 1 where I think we had at least two power play goals. I'm going to try and just mix up the power play units a little bit to try and jumpstart something. Not too much to touch aside from that because I'm liking what is happening here. I'm going to try switching out Ethan Bear and really go offensive on this pair, on this first unit, and put Schwartz at the point right there, and Bear can swap with Palat right here. That'll be what I just do for the power play units. Don't want to touch anything else. Headed into game 5, back at home. Watch the last 4 games. It is a best of 3 here at Climate Pledge Arena. And we definitely do not want to lose 3 in a row and be on the verge of elimination. We have this series. We need to stay strong. We know our game. Let's keep playing it. First period, 3-1. That is what we've been looking for. Vinny Trocheck scores in the power play. There we go, the power play goal. Patrice Bergeron ties it back up, but then Nate McKinnon scores twice in 6 minutes to put us up 3-1. 2-goal lead. Second period now, and we make it a 5-1 game. Cole Lind, who's been one of the best fourth liners, him and Gambrel have been amazing. And then Donskoy joins the party with his first goal of the playoffs, and first playoff goal as a Kraken as well. 5-1 Seattle, shots 26-19. We're up by 4. We need to stay smart, though, here in this third period because they're going to be sending out those big dogs out there again. That first line, but I don't know. Kopitar, there he is. He's tired, but he keeps putting the puck in the net. Power play for us is killed off by LA. Now we're only up by 3, but luckily time's ticking down, under 5 to go, and we're still hanging on to our 3-goal lead. That'll be all she wrote in game 4. In game 5. Headed into game 6, we hold the 3-2 series lead. Shots 37-28 in this one. We beat Vanacek 5 times. 2 goals for McKinnon, 3 assists for Palat. Hopefully some of that was on the power play, putting him in that right wing position. And a 26 save performance from Ben Bishop. 3-2 series lead. Headed back to LA, Staples Center. 8 points in 5 games for Jordan Eberle, who's been the greatest acquisition for us. Let's try and finish this off and get a little couple extra days of break maybe before round number 2. We don't want to see 7. Let's get into the second round for the second time in 3 years and in this franchise's history. First period, 1-0 LA. There he is. Anze Kopitar on the power play. You just can't beat him. Man. Second period now. There's a tying goal from Nate McKinnon. His second shorthanded goal of this series. We're being outshot 24-19, but it comes down to a final 20 minutes now. If we can win, we go through, but if the Kings find a way, we're headed to 7 back home in Seattle. 5 minutes in, nothing coming. Shots are, power play opportunity for Seattle, killed off by the Kings. They've had a very good penalty kill this whole series. Shots are pretty much even now. They're even at 28 with under 5 to go. Will there be late heroics? It's Matty Beniers with just 3 minutes to go. Is that the winner? And yes, it is not the rookie, but the sophomore. With 3:11 to go in this game, he pulls it out, and we take the lead in shots, in score, in everything. 34-29 in the end. Vanacek put up a fight, but Matty Beniers, our leading goal scorer in this season, who had, 39 goals, he finds a way to score. 1 goal, 1 assist, first star. Vanacek, great performance, but just not enough. Bishop makes 28 saves, and we are through, ladies and gentlemen, to round number 2 after taking down the Kings in 6 games. What a series. Oilers and Coyotes are going to 7. Jets and Canucks are going to 7. Hawks swept through the Blues. Take a breather, stretch those arms and legs, and we'll get ready for round number 2. So I was right. I didn't want to say it, but I thought it to be true. That was Matty Beniers' first goal of the playoffs. 1 goal through 6 games after scoring 37 in the regular season. Last year in the playoffs, he had 0. Wow, so that was his first career playoff goal, and it's the series winner. Through 11 playoff games, he has his first career playoff goal. Wow. Congratulations, Matty Beniers. So that was big. 5 points in 6 games for both he and Trocheck. Palat over a point per game with 7 and 6. Eberle 8 and McKinnon 8. So they're really, really carrying us through right now. And everyone else down here, not too terrible. Plus minuses are looking okay. -2 for Donskoy, -2 for Schwartz, not ideal. -1 for Bean, -1 for McCann. Only the player with no points was Ryan Pulak, who had an even plus-minus. Goaltending, Bishop goes through round 1 with a .927 save percentage and 2.12 goals against average. Last year in the playoffs, or the year before, in 2022-23, 6 games, he got washed out pretty quickly, 2-3-1. Before that, the Stanley Cup run of 2022 that they went on. Did they win the Cup that year? I'm not totally sure. But regardless, we're looking good through those 6 games. We're ready to reset for round number 2. Let's see who our opponent will be. In the AHL, we're going through as well, as we took down the Wolves here. 6 points in 5 games for Barré Boulet. Things are looking good for Pacific Palm Springs HC. Chicago Wolves, I think that was. So round number 2, we're taking on the Arizona Coyotes. Wow. How about that? The 39-34-9 Arizona Coyotes take down the Oilers in 7. Wow. The team who got Ben Bishop from Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, taken down by the likes of, I know Patrick Marleau, is he 43? He's on the Coyotes here. Or is he a healthy scratch? I know he was on this team at one point. But regardless, Evgeny Malkin, Shane Wright, and Dylan Gunter is that first line. That's pretty solid, I have to say, from a goal-scoring perspective. And Raquel, Pavelski, Keller on the second line. Ratcliffe, oh, there's Marleau, I'm blind. 44 years of age. Ratcliffe, Hayton, and Schmaltz on the third. Howla, Marleau, and Frederick. 1 assist in 7 games for the 44-year-old veteran. Defensively, Chikrin and Timmins, Vatanen and Soderstrom, Moser, and who's this? Yanis Jérôme Mosey. If he's French, it's Mosey, and Jet Wu. Goaltending, it is Elvis Merzlikins. No! Backed up by Phoenix Copley, my nemesis, the channel enemy, Elvis Merzlikins. We had a small truce in the Blue Jackets series. Oh, Elvis. What's he doing in the playoffs? 4-2-0, 901 save percentage, 3.06 goals against average. Anyone's going to beat us, it's Elvis. Oh, healthy scratches. Skrashtins. Ooh, the second overall selection in 2023. 5 points in 7 games. He's injured. So is Noah Chari, and so is Dustin Brown. So it could be advantageous to us. Hopefully a bit of a weaker defense is something we can take advantage of, but they absolutely have the scoring. Very much so in the top 6, very much so in the top 9, I'd say. I don't think Ratcliffe's, he's okay, whatever. And even throughout the entire 12 forwards, it's there. So the Coyotes are going to be a strong team, especially led by a very good simulation player like Evgeny Malkin. But we're doing well. We have Nate McKinnon. We're ready for round number 2. The furthest this franchise has ever made is round 7, game 2 against the Ducks in year number 1. So let's try and beat that and get to the conference finals maybe here in year number 3. It all starts in game 1 of round 2 against the Coyotes. First period, 3-0. Okay, there's Matty Beniers opening it up. He heard the criticism. There's his second career playoff goal now. Dylan Gamble, the fourth-line center, makes it 2-0. And Ethan Bear, with his first career playoff goal for the Kraken, makes it 3-0. Wow. We no longer have an expansion player from the Coyotes as we let Christian Fischer walk to free agency. So not a lot of bad blood in this series, nor has this really been a rivalry in this series, so it could become one. Oh, no. Craig Anderson's in net. Oh, no, I don't know why. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but Chikrin makes it 3-1. After the second, it's 4-1, though. Hayden Fleury puts back our 3-goal lead. 4-1, headed into the third period. That's a bit scary. Hope Ben Bishop's okay. Maybe just, last minute thing. Needed to just... Jared McCann. Let me see the shots in the first period, maybe. Was Bishop ever in nets? Yeah, Bishop was in nets. He got pulled, so he wasn't feeling good, I guess. Another goal there from Evgeny Malkin now to make it 5-2. But Jared McCann scoring his first of the playoffs made it 5-1. And that'll be all she wrote. Shots 30-29 in the end of this one, but we take it 5-2 the final. Very nice job. Beniers first star with a goal and an assist. Ethan Bear with a goal. And Matt Zuccarello, the trade deadline acquisition, 2 assists for the third star. Gotta say, I'm pretty proud of not only my general manager, whatever stuff, but as a team, the assistant GMs, we really put together a good team out here, I gotta say. I pull the trigger, I decide what gets done, and I make the moves and everything, but a lot of credit goes to assistant GMs as well, I gotta say. We're up 1-0 in this series. Ben Bishop, thank goodness, is healthy, so he's starting for game number 2. We're up 1-0. Let's keep it rolling after a nice performance in game 1. First period, woo! Wow, Ben Bishop was not ready, I suppose. 4 goals on 8 shots. What in the world was that? Skrastins also is healthy and back in the lineup. Timmins, Hayton, Skrastins, and Malkin. 4 goals in, 13 minutes. Great. Okay, second period, no scoring. Shots are 19-18. Hopefully Anderson's in nets now. Not much. Yeah, Anderson is in nets. We score 1 there as Tarasenko makes it 4-1, but then Hayton quickly restores the 4-goal lead. Thank you to the captain for trying to get us back in this, but under 10 to go. We're down by 4. I don't think it's happening, but Jordan Eberle on the power play brings us within 3. Under 5 to go is not crazy, but time is running out here, and that'll be all she wrote. We outshoot the Coyotes 33-24, but after beating them 5-2 in Game 1, we fall 5-2 in Game 2. Hayton, Malkin, and of course Elvis Merzlikins, 3rd star of the game. That first period was a killer. I think I'm going to keep Big Ben in. He got it. He pulled it together. I don't know. It was Anderson who went to nets after. But Anderson got us the win in Game 1. He limited the damage in Game 2. Bishop's our guy, but this might be the last chance here before I give a game to Craig Anderson. Series is tied at 1. It's a best of 5. Let's hit it in Arizona. First period, 1-0 Coyotes. Hayton scores 1 goal on 11 shots. That just came 2 minutes and 9 seconds in, though. Bad angle as well. Second period, 3-1. Vatanen and Raquel both on the power play. Jake Bean scores for us, thankfully, but we're down by 2. 3-1 Coyotes headed into the third period. Shots 23-21 Arizona. We need to get 2 goals here. I'm looking for the big dogs. I'm looking for Trocheck, and I'm looking for Schwartz to do something. Power play Seattle, killed off by the Coyotes, and then a power play swap back the other way. Short-handed goal for Nick Schmaltz. No, just call it. Palat scores 4 goals on 31 shots. We got to go Craig. We got to go Craig. It's a hot Elvis, man. I'm so sick of Elvis. Even when he's not doing well. His numbers weren't great after the first round, but of course against us, he's just going to do whatever. He sees GM data in the press box. Time to start making some changes here. Donskoy has not been impressing me. What's up with the plus minus of the third line? I hope it's not shameful here. -3, -1, -2. I'm going to bring Eberle up to the first line. They say that chemistry doesn't matter in the playoffs. Let's try and test that out a bit here. Let's go Palat, McKinnon, Beniers on the second line. Actually, you know what? No, McKinnon, Eberle, Tarasenko first line. Beniers, Trocheck, Palat second line. Schwartz, McCann, Lind, or even no, Zuccarello third line. Donskoy, Gambrel, Lind on the fourth. Bean, -1. Bear, Alexiak, Pulak. Leozone +4. Fleury +3 with, 4 points? My goodness. So let me get Fleury with Pulak, maybe? Just try and spice things up a little. Let's go like that. And Bishop hasn't been looking great. Craig, get in there, buddy. His first playoff start in who knows how long. Last playoff appearance in the NHL was in 2021 with the Capitals. Played 2 games, went 1-1 with a .928 save percentage. Before that, it was 2017 with the Senators. So Craig, dust off the playoff pads. I'm giving you the start. It might be crazy, but that's the decision I'm making here. With those little line changes as well, we can't afford to go down 3-1 in this series in Arizona. Let's tie this series up at 2 and go back home Game 5 with a lead. Let's see it, boys. First period, 2-0 Kraken. There we go. The line changes help us out. Beniers scores on that second line, and then Tarasenko scores on that first line just 16 seconds later. 2-0 Seattle. Second period now, 4-1. Vinny Trocheck, a line change. Nate McKinnon on the power play. Not a line change, but at least the big dogs. Malkin does score shorthanded. I'm not sure what's happening with these power play units. We're up 4-1. Shots are only 21-14 through 40. But we're up by 3 in the third period, and things are looking good. We need to keep them looking that way. Power play Seattle. That's killed off by the Coyotes. Shots now 26-19. Not much offense in this one, but still a nice 3-goal cushion that is not being chipped away at, and I am more than okay with that. Final couple minutes, and this series is tied up, my friends. 4-1 the final. The big dogs came through, of course. Beniers a goal and assist for first star. Malkin had second star honors somehow. But Craig Anderson makes 23 saves on 24 shots and gets the playoff victory. Wow. Hats off to Craig Anderson, the waiver pickup. Headed into Game 5, I think we got to go back to Craig here. This series is all tied up at 2. And it's now a best of 3. So through these 10 playoff games, Nate MacKinnon has 6 goals and 11 points. The Blue Jackets swept the Islanders in the East. Red Wings and Hurricanes are tied at 2. And the Hawks and the Canucks are also tied at 2. So headed into game number 5, looking to take a lead at Climate Pledge Arena. Let's hit it. Keep that mojo going from last game. First period, 1-1. Evgeny Malkin on the power play. This guy's been crazy. But the captain, Vladimir Tarasenko, we've been needing offense from him, and he's been coming through now. Shots 14-6 after 20. It's a 1-1 game. Second period, 2-2. Ethan Bear scores to give us the lead. But then just less than a couple minutes later, Connor Timmins once again ties it up. We're more than doubling, close to tripling the Coyotes' shots. 28-11. But it's a 2-2 game headed into the final 20 minutes here. We need to come through and find a way to beat Elvis just at least one more time here. Batten down the hatches. Craig, just stay solid. You can do this. I know you haven't been tested too much tonight. But there it is. Dylan Gambrell, the fourth-line center, comes through for us. 3 goals on 34 shots now. Under 5 to go with this slim 1-goal lead. Stay strong, boys. Ah, no. Dustin Brown. And we're headed to overtime for the first time in the playoffs here. Shots end 35-20. 35-20. But it's a 3-3 game and we're headed to overtime. Here we are in Seattle. MacKinnon versus Wright at the face-off dot here. Next team that scores a goal goes up 3-2 here in the Western Conference semifinals. Gunter, Malkin, nice save by Craig Anderson, 42 years of age. Let's go, Craig. Malkin, Wright, and Gunter against Eberle, MacKinnon, and Tarasenko. The first lines are out. Defensive zone face-off. MacKinnon wins it to Wright. Wright wins it to Timmins. What am I saying? Here's Wright. Gets a weird shot off. And what happened here? Power play Coyotes? That was like a helmet save from Anderson. I was so mixed up in my words I couldn't even see what happened. Nate MacKinnon gets 2 for tripping. Hey, he's applauding the ref. Look at that. Let's see see this penalty. Was it a bad call? Applauding the ref after getting 2 for tripping. Doesn't even show it to us, so I have to go look at myself. So here's MacKinnon. And so he laid down to try and block the shot from Shane Wright. And he tripped over his legs, and he flipped him, actually. Yeah, I guess that's 2 for tripping. Tried to block the... I'm not sure what the official rule is. But nonetheless, Beniers and McCann on the penalty kill against Keller, Raquel, and Schmaltz here on the power play. We got to kill off these 2 minutes. Nice defensive face-off win. Bear, dangerous pass to Alexiak. He clears it past the red line at very least. Schmaltz looking to bring it back into the zone. Gets crushed. Skrastins to Raquel. Can't skate through. Alexiak picks up the puck and clears it down.
The Coyotes get a hold of the puck along the board.
Nice pressing here. Beniers scores! How about that? And the Seattle Kraken win in overtime. Totally caught me off guard. A board pin fight for the puck. Somehow gets to Beniers, walks in, rips the shot, and gets through traffic. I'm not sure if Elvis wasn't ready for it. I definitely wasn't ready for it. But the Kraken win in 4-3 in overtime with a short-handed winner. Got bumped off the puck. He's being screened by 2 of his own players. What a weird sequence. But the Seattle Kraken come away with a huge short-handed overtime winner. Once again, the winner going to Matty Beniers. As he was fighting in the corner, McCann gets some credit on that as well. But hey, we're up 3-2 in this series. So a huge 4-3 overtime short-handed winner at home. Get the fans electrified. We have a game now in Arizona the next day. Get on that plane, and Ashton Mulroney's fully healed. Perfect. That's down in Pacific. Did they win their last game? No, they lost. After like a 55-win season or whatever. Of course, they lose in 6 to Manitoba. Classic playoffs. But now here we are in game number 6 of round number 2 against the Coyotes in Arizona. A win right here would propel us into the Western Conference Finals, not only for the furthest ever trek, I guess, in the playoff in postseason franchise history, but also for just the first time we've made it this far. So first period, 1-1 game. Matt Zuccarello, there he is on that third line. He's really come through from a depth fourth liner who I thought he'd be. 13th forward kind of guy. It's now playing third line minutes. Gunter ties it up 1-1. Craig Anderson there between the pipes, trying to get us a victory. Put us into the conference finals for the first time in franchise history. Second period, now 3-2. Jaden Schwartz puts us up. Evgeny Malkin ties it up, but then Ethan Bear, who's been doing quite well this postseason, I do have to say, 3-2 Kraken, 20 minutes away from our furthest ever playoff experience through these 3 seasons and 12 episodes. 3-2 Kraken up by 1, doubling the Coyotes' shots. Can we hang on tight and even add to it? Power play Coyotes killed off by the Kraken penalty killers. Another power play. This time Dylan Gunter will capitalize. And Pavelski just 24 seconds later. Then 5-3 Skrastins. 3 goals in 3 minutes for the Coyotes. Power play Arizona now. From up 3-2 and about to do it to losing 6-3. Wow. How about that for just a kick in the gut? 36-26 we led in the shots, but the Coyotes just destroyed us in the third period. We took our foot off the gas, I suppose. Do we go Ben in this last game? We have now tied our franchise record for the furthest we've ever been in the playoffs. Game 7, round 2. Here we are. Chalowski is ready to return to the lineup, but it's a playable injury. That's why I don't really count it that much. I'm going to send down... Who do I have to send down here? Tanev? Yeah, Tanev will go down to the minors now that Chalowski's back, but it doesn't really change anything for us. Unless, I don't think, it's probably still a playable injury. When is he going to be fully healed is what I want to know. Broken wrist, still 11 more days. -5 on deking, rush shot accuracy, passing, face-offs. Not really things that matter too much, but Lauzon's been playing well. The question now is, do we take anyone out for Dennis Chalowski, who was our best defenseman at the time of his getting injured? When he had, what, a +20 in 60-some games? Bean has 4 points, -3. Bear has 5 points, +1. Fleury, 4 points, +6. Pulak, 1 assist, +1. Alexiak, 2 points, +2. Lauzon, 1 goal, +4. I'd almost take out Jake Bean, but we need him off. He puts in almost 23 minutes a night, despite the -3. I might be a madman, but Chalowski's been our best defenseman. So you know what? I'm going to go back to how the lines were. Was it when we were at our best? Was it Bean, Pulak, Chalowski, Bear, Alexiak, Fleury? I think that's what the lines were. So I'm gonna slap Chalowski in there, despite the playable injury. It's Game 7, Round 2. Now's where we need him to come through. Despite the -2, it didn't really matter because even though there was a -2, he still had +20 in 64 games and 19 points. So, Dennis Chalowski, show me what you got, big boy. You've had a nice little rest. I need the scorers to come through. Ben Bishop, I'm going to give him the start. Anderson dropped to an .887 save percentage. So, Bishop, you're back in here for Game 7. This is some nerve-wracking stuff. That was a really disappointing Game 6 third period there. As we just need one good game to push us into the Western Conference Finals and keep the dream and the hope alive. Gentlemen, you know your jobs. You've done it all season long. We've been doing well in this postseason. Couple of close games. We know that we can beat these guys. Shut down Malkin. Shut down the top 6. Schmaltz, Keller. We can break through this defense. Do not let Elvis take this from us. Let's go. I'll see you back home for the beginning of round number 3. Let's go, boys. First period, 1-0 Coyotes. Moser, whatever his name is, on Ben Bishop. 1 goal on 6 shots. Second period. I'm just going to let it go now. Second period. We're out shooting them almost. We were almost doubling their shots at a moment there. Just going to let it run here. Second period. We need to break through Elvis, man. Halfway through this game, 19 shots, 19 saves. Power play Coyotes. But it's a shorthanded goal from Jonas Donskoy of all the people. And this game's tied at 1. Jonas Donskoy ties it up at 1. And it all comes down to this final 20 minutes. Shots 26-15. We're leading by 11, but it's a 1-1 game. Boys, it all comes down to this. We've fought hard for 40 minutes. We've held them to 15 shots. But we know that we can break through this goalie. We need to keep this pace. We need to even add a bit more. We only beat them once on 26 shots. Keep up the pace of the shots, but be more clinical. Look for those moments. Trust the man left on your left. Look at the man on your right. These are the brothers that got you to this point. Some here for 3 years. Some have been trying to build something. Some of you have been brought in to the fold, and you've been adding to this culture. 20 minutes left. Let's get to the Western Conference Finals. In front of the home fans, final 20 minutes. Shots 28-17, 5 minutes in. Look at Shane Wright puts the Coyotes up 2-1. But Nathan MacKinnon, the $11 million man, ties it up at 2. And Vinny Trocheck, the second line center, he went up to the first line, back to the second line. 2 seasons of like 130 points in 2 years. We're up 3-2. 2 minutes left. Minute and a half, 45 seconds. No, with 32 seconds left. With 32 seconds left. You're kidding me. MacKinnon with 12 and a half to go. Trocheck just like 2.5 minutes after that. And with 32 seconds left on the 25th shot of the night, shots are 34-25. This game is all tied up at 3, and we're headed to overtime to decide who is going to the Western Conference Finals. We may have taken our foot off the gas for just a couple of seconds, and a desperate Coyotes team that has been searching for success for so long took advantage of that. Schmaltz with 32 seconds to go. Overtime. Overtime in Seattle at Climate Pledge Arena. A goal for the Kraken puts them through to the conference finals for the first time in franchise history. A goal for the Coyotes puts them through the conference finals for the first time since, I think, was it 2013 where they had that little run with Mike Smith? But needless to say, it's been over a decade for them as well. They are searching for something. Malcolm trying to windmill there in the mid-ice. MacKinnon's going to pick it back up, circle back to his own end, give it back to Ethan Bear, who's going to give it to Tarasenko, who enters into the zone, is trying to set up now. Tarasenko along the boards to Eberle. Eberle at the hash marks, but he loses it to Shane Wright, who gets it to Timmins. Malcolm leading the charge for the Coyotes over the Kraken blue line now. Gets through 3 guys. Timmins, Gunter, Wright, big pad save from Bishop as he tried the poke check, missed, but still kicked out the pad. Eberle can't get it through as Shane Wright picks that puck off. Gives it up to Malcolm now, who gets crushed but dumps it in over the glass and out of play. It was actually 2012, the season in which the Coyotes went to the conference finals. Just check it out. Here's Dennis Chalowski with that broken wrist. Puts it in front to Ethan Bear, who gets crushed. Oh, Dennis Chalowski. We lost in Game 7 overtime in year number 1 in round 2 to the Ducks. Going to pick it up and does get it out to Semi Vatanen. Leads the charge back the other way now. He gets it to Joe Pavelski, to Raquel, and Bishop follows that very nicely. Can't get much of a shot off. Kulak, Chalowski, up to Matt Zuccarello, gets destroyed. Biggest problem with the AI is how they just accept these hits. They skate along the boards, someone's coming at them at 55 kilometers an hour, and they just accept getting crushed. Kulak up to McCann, sticking to the boards. Here's Zuccarello now. Can he be the hero? Zuccarello off a skate! Chikrin almost got it past Merzlikins for us. Soderstrom up to Barrett Hayton now. He's bumped but keeps possession. That was a weird hit. Dustin Brown in front to Hayton, poked away. Very nicely done by Schwartz. And now broken up by Tarasenko, who re-enters the Coyote zone. Tarasenko in front. Eberle is stopped by the blocker of Merzlikins. Jordan Eberle trying to be the hero. Oh, what a chance that was. Eberle playing catch in front, but that is broken up by Mosey. That could have been it on the doorstep for MacKinnon. Gunter over the blue line to Shane Wright. And he scores for the second time in 3 years. The Kraken are eliminated in overtime of Game 7 of Round 2. As the Coyotes, a 39-win team, eliminate us. After taking out the Oilers, they take out the Kraken, and now they're off to the Western Conference Finals with Elvis Merzlikins. It's so NHL 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, every year. Malkin Sims amazing. Merzlikins Sims amazing. I guess the GM of the Coyotes got a wind of how these things worked and just built a super team. Weak goal to go through as well. And Shane Wright wins it for the Coyotes. Shots 35-28. Yanis Jerome Mosey. That guy. 3 assists from Dylan Gunter. 35 to 28 the shots. 4 goals and 28 shots. What a weak goal to go through. Shane Wright, 2 goals, including the series winner. Who's on defense there? Bean and Pulak. Yeah, why put your stick in the lane? Just retract your stick even and just watch the shot come. Yep, another classic day in EA World. And the Canucks took out the Hawks. It would have been, the rivalry renewed between the Kraken and the Canucks in the Western Conference Finals. That would have been something. Nate McKinnon ends his first playoffs with the Kraken, going point per game with 13 in 13. Matty Beniers ended up going 12 and 13. He really picked it up. Eberle 11 and 13. Palat 11. Trocheck 10. Zuccarello, what a pickup. 8 points in 13 games. Tarasenko only 4 goals, 7 points from the captain. Ethan Bear had 5. Schwartz let me down a little with only getting 4. Gambrel, Lind, Alexiak, Lozon. Chalowski, 1 assist in 1 game. What a monster Dan Chalowski is. Pulak, I don't know. Ben Bishop, 5-4-1 with a 900 save percentage, 2.82 goals against, and Anderson 3-2-0. So goaltending was not ideal. The scoring was there, but the goaltending wasn't in this series. That's in this playoffs even. Very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. So what I'm going to do now, between now and the draft, is I'm going to continue to work on the scouting. That'll be all done off screen. I'm also going to send a couple of contracts out right away for guys I know I want back. I think I'm pretty sold on Jordan Eberle coming back. He would probably take something in the, he would take 85%, would be less than what he's making now for sure. Be in the mid to high 4-point-something million, probably closer to 4.5 million. Jared McCann, Donskoy, I don't think he's going to come back, but Chalowski, even Zuccarello, on a cheap enough deal, yeah, I'd bring back Zuccarello after doing as well as he did. But next year, no goaltending is probably going to be Wilm and Bishop. We'll see what the money situation's like heading into the offseason, but let's finish up the scouting. Let's finish off the season. Let's check out the awards. Then we'll get an idea of what the draft is looking like headed into the 2024 offseason. So in the midst of submitting to the draft here, Zuccarello signs on for 1 year at 1.250. Currently an 80 overall. Probably going to drop some more. But whether he be a 13th forward or a 4th line forward, no matter what, I don't think that's too much to give to a player who did pretty well and proved himself. Dennis Chalowski, 2 years at 2.250, I believe. Amazing season, but who knows if that's sustainable. So I think 2 years at a good price tag is a nice little experiment. And Jared McCann signs for 3 years at 3.450, I believe. If he can continue to be a solid third liner for us, then that's great. Didn't have the greatest season though, and I'm not sure what's going to happen if there's room for him if we bring back Jordan Eberle. So signed him for now, but who knows if he's here for next season. Jordan Eberle, I'm not totally sure what's going to happen next season for him. I would like to bring him back. Wow. Vancouver Canucks win the Stanley Cup, the team that we would have faced in the Western Conference Finals. I would like to bring back Jordan Eberle, but I want to see if his price tag drops a little bit from 5.2, which would be around 4.55, something like that, if we want to re-sign him. So, it depends on the growth of our prospects as well. Calgary jumps from 3-1 in the draft lottery. Tampa from 9-2. Colorado drops 1-3. Nashville 2-4, and so forth. Central scouting going well. Retired players now after the 2024 season here. Patrick Marleau goes out with the Coyotes, made it to the conference finals, but retires at the age of 44. 1,952 games played. Corey Perry, 1 point shy of 900. Ryan Suter, Derek Brassard, Mark Giordano, who we did not draft in the expansion draft. We kept him on the Calgary Flames, and he goes out with the Blues, actually. Lad, Okposo, Bozak, Cogliano. I don't know why it's not scrolling when I'm hitting this so many times. Derek Ryan, Jay Beagle, etc. Is Craig Anderson calling it a career? He should be, but he's not. He wants more at the age of 43. He's going to be. Jonathan Quick retires with Vegas, 347 wins in his career at the age of 38, 79 overall. Dubnyk, McElhaney, Stalock. Craig Anderson's coming back for more, but I doubt he gets signed. Ryan Suter now a coach, and Corey Perry now a scout. Coach is retiring. Houghton in there in our Pacific Palm Springs HC for us, one of our AHL coaches, but that's it. The rest of the staff is staying on board. We'll have to re-sign them in the off-season. Looking at the contract situation now on the 23rd of June as we arrive here at the draft. when it comes to the extension dollars that we'll have. Jordan Everly, for example, at an 85 overall now. Now he wants 5.850, so it went up even more because he grew from an 83 to an 85. Probably should have signed him then. Oh, yikes. That's a lot of money. Probably should have signed him. But regardless, it's a 1-year deal, and it probably just makes it a more realistic contract. Instead of 1 year or 2 years at 4.5, it'll be like 1 year at 5. Still cheaper than the 5.5 he's making now. Donskoy at 3 would want even more than we have 13.695. I don't want to use it on him. Most of these other guys are going to walk. Demaris, Mete, Suzuki definitely getting re-signed. Dawson Mercer getting re-signed. So it depends on a lot of these guys' growth here. Will we have players pushing for the NHL by next season? Matachuk, like for example, David Yurchek, is he ready to go for the NHL next season? He is 77, not sure. Moving to the awards now. So the Vancouver Canucks Stanley Cup champions. Eat your heart out, Canucks fans, after losing to the Bruins way back when. They take down the the Carolina Hurricanes in the Stanley Cup Finals. Wow, so the Blue Jackets did win the President's Trophy though. Vancouver Canucks are bringing the Stanley Cup back to Canada for the second time in this franchise mode after the Leafs won it in 2022. Individual awards, Leon Draisaitl wins the Art Ross and the Hart. James Norris goes to Adam Boqvist. Are you sure this isn't the Columbus Blue Jackets franchise mode? Lady Byng goes to Patrick Kane for the second straight season. Ken Johnson wins the Calder. Conn Smythe to Quinn Hughes. Vezina to Darcy Kemper, makes sense. Jennings also to Kemper. Masterton to Carson Lambos. Jack Adams to the coach of the St. Louis Blues, breaking Giordano's streak. Selke, wow. So forget the Ryan O'Reilly Award, maybe the Sidney Crosby Award. 3 years in a row for Sidney Crosby. Ted Lindsay to Draisaitl, and Maurice Richard to Alex Ovechkin. Surprisingly, for only the first time in this franchise mode save. Any awards for us down here? Peyton Wilm wins the Vezina, the equivalent of the Vezina down there. So that's great to see from Peyton. And that is it for the awards. In the playoff tree here, so after beating the Oilers in 7 and beating us in 7, the Coyotes lose in 7 to the Canucks, who beat the Hurricanes in 7. So quite a thrilling Stanley Cup playoffs here in 2024. Going through a few more things here to, prolong the episode a little bit. Let's check the record book. We haven't looked at the record book at all. So through 3 seasons, who are the record holders here in Seattle? I'm just curious. So Tarasenko, most points at 215. A bunch have played 3 seasons. Palat, most assists at 135. Games played at 246, but there's a few of them who have played 246. Penalty minutes, Alexiak with 138. Shout out to Malcolm Subban as he got 4 across his parts of a few seasons here. Grubauer had 49 wins in his time here. And Vladimir Tarasenko at 102 goals as the Seattle Kraken. Looking at the season records here, McCann, games played, whatever. Shutouts goes to Subban at the moment. Penalty minutes, Matty Beniers at 67. Okay. Tarasenko with 39 goals. Most points this season went to Beniers with 89, and his penalty minutes as well. Most assists, Jaden Schwartz with 55 last year, and wins, Grubauer with 32 in year number 1. Looking at rookie records, goes to Benier, all going to Beniers and Phil Gustafsson. Saves, 38 saves in a game is a franchise record for Craig Anderson. Jake Bean, most assists, most points goes to McKinnon, most goals goes to Tarasenko, but I'm sure there's many ties in there. Checking the progress reports now, Nathan Kennedy, 94 overall. Matty Beniers has grown to a 90 overall. And he has developed some X factors, it seems like. I'm not sure if those are going to stay with the bone break, the ankle break. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure if these stay. I've seen them come and go before. We had a prospect, Heiskanen, who got some at the end of one season, but then lost them at the beginning of the next season, so I'm not sure what to believe. Tarasenko dropped from a 90 to an 88. Trocheck 87, Bear 86. Eberle up to an 85, like we had mentioned. Palat 84. McCann up to an 84. Chalowski up to an 82. Gambrel 81. Tanev back to an 81. He was at a 79. And Zuccarello at that 80 overall. Looking at the goaltenders here, Gus still at an 82. Not sure what we're going to do with Gus since it's likely going to be Peyton Wilm. Oh my goodness, Isaiah Marco at an 83 overall now. He's listed as a third-line scorer. So next season, Isaiah Marco definitely be on the third line, so he replaces Jonas Donskoy. Peyton Wilm at an 81 overall is definitely playing in the NHL. His X factors changed as well. So Wilm and Bishop, or is it Wilm and Gus? I'm not sure what's going to happen there. But Isaiah Marco at an 83, he's ready for the NHL. That's going to be great to see. Vince Sloan has grown to a 70 overall, also with X factors, but I'm not sure what to believe there. Remp at a 70. Mason Schaub to a 78. Craig Anderson's still there. He's dropped to a 79. Rosean up to a 77. Dawson Mercer at a 77. Jiricek 77. Maloney 77. Suzuki at a 78. Popov up to a 72. Matachek 71. So good growth from our prospects here. But probably the only one making the jump, Heiskanen 74. Probably the only one making the jump to the NHL. For skater-wise, will be Isaiah Marco. Wilm, definitely we knew that was going to happen. But I don't know. At this moment, probably Shaw. I'd like Shaw to be fourth-line center, but Gambrel had an amazing season as fourth-line center. Maybe McCann moves to the left wing. Isaiah Marco to the right wing. Third-line center is Gambrel. So that does present us with a number of options there. That's why I want to bring him back, but I'm not sure what works. Is it time to move on from Vinny Trocheck, even after he had such a good season? He's had 2 great seasons with us. But is it time now at 90 overall to transition Matty Beniers from first-line left wing to full-time second-line center, 1B, a la Evgeny Malkin, perhaps? It's difficult. Do we go... Then what's our first line? Do we go Schwartz, McKinnon, and Tarasenko on the first line? Who's playing first-line left wing? That's a big question. So we do pick 19th in the first round, then 19 in the second round, so 51. So 19 and 51 are our first 2 selections, but we pick once in the first, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, 2 fourths. We do have a good number of picks in a pretty solid draft. So checking out the draft class now, the scouts did pretty well, but still a lot still to be desired. Yeah, scouting's been a bit weird here in NHL 22, but at least the big guys I got. John Brathwaite going first overall, it seems like, from the Halifax Mooseheads. Similar to Sean Monahan, he's going to be ready right away. Albert's here, an offensive defenseman. Baines, a sniper, playmaker, two-way D. So pretty much every player type is there in that top 5. Other players in this first round, a lot of top 6 forwards, top 4 Ds. Hemingway, Van Riemsdyk. So 19th, it seems like this guy Van Riemsdyk, power forward, is the guy slated around 9. Yahir Van Riemsdyk. Wow, that's a name. 3 years away, similar to Owen Nolan. 3 years away, Yves Parise. Jesper Ekman-Larsson, 3 years away. 3 years away. 3 years. So all these guys are in the probably going to be pretty much the same. It's going to be top 6 forwards who are like between 62 and 64 overall. Now the question is, do we try and trade up into one of these top 6 forwards? These guys are also 3 years away, except for these 2, Ned Burkholz and Nathan Quinville, and even Emiliano Cristi, all 2 years away. So could those be possibilities for us? Do we want to trade up? If we have the trade value, especially of Vinny Trocheck, Francois Poirier seems pretty interesting as well. Medium elite, 18 years of age, NHL ready, similar to Patrick Kane. Had 110 points in 68 games. There are a lot of good possibilities for us. So if you want to know more about any of these prospects, let me know. I can get you their stats and things like that. But what are the thoughts here? Do we try and trade up into the top 5? Do we keep our pick? Do we move back and into the second round here with our next pick? Not a lot that is tempting here. Low elite, this guy Eric Hart could be a target for us. Another low elite, Kenny Knights. 3 years away, both of them 3 years away. Yeah, both low elite potential. This guy Avery Weidman, also guaranteed low elite. A lot of guaranteed top 6, some good prospects. Look at these guys. Medium top 6s. These are the guys you find in the mid first round. Top 6 forwards who are 3 years away. Just as good as the first rounders. So maybe it's not a good idea to use our first round pick at 19. Nitamaki there is a gem. Top 4D. So you know what? The scouts came through for the most part here. Then at 51, our next pick, this guy, 2-bar medium elite, Chris Moss, perhaps, similar to Mike Gartner. Then the menus are so sticky, I don't want to keep scrolling, but just sorting by potential to see anything else that's of interest to us. Not a lot of guaranteed medium elites, but lots of 2-bar medium elites, even late in the draft, in the late hundreds, early 200s. And then the low elites, a good amount of guaranteed low elites, even at 60, this guy Kobasu, guaranteed low elite, Braden Kobasu. Trying to figure out, look at the zone abilities. Yeah, Braden Kobasu definitely has to be someone that we target with those zone abilities. But what makes me really wonder is, do these stick? Do these change? Do they come and go? Why do they appear at the end of the season, then they're gone at the beginning of the next season after that? It's a bit confusing. Last looking at the pending free agents, if there's anyone. Obviously, a lot of them often don't get to free agency, but here are the potential free agents this year. Pedersen, Lafreniere, Stamkos, Tervainen, Besser, Sergachev, Gensel, Dahlin, Giroux, Hannafin, Nylander, JVR, Turcotte, Eberle, and so on and so forth. Goalies that are possibly going to be here. Hellebuck, Hart, Varlamov, Vanacek, Rask to Smith, Sorokin. So I think the goaltending situation we're good. We just got to figure out, is it going to be Bishop or is it going to be Gustafsson? Defensively is probably the place where we could try and spend some money. Sergachev might be back on the market after we didn't go after him last year. Dahlin, Hanifin, Power. He would be an RFA though, so looking at potential UFAs, Pesci, Romanov. He'd probably also be an RFA. Tanev, Braden Gooley maybe is a UFA at this point, but I digress. It's hard to know at this point who's going to be available. And that's all she wrote for this one, my friends. So heading into next episode, the big questions for the offseason. We had such a good season, but now do we try and run it back, or is it time to make some changes? Are we moving out Eberle? Are we moving out Trocheck? Who's coming in? If we know Donskoy's out and Marco's in, what about the rest of the lineup? Do we call up Shaw? Are we making room for maybe some defensemen to come in from the minors? What's up with the goaltending? Are we going after anybody in free agency? If Matty Beniers is the second line center, who's the first line left wing? That's why I'm inclined to keep Vinny Trocheck at least for another season, since we're not super tight on money just yet. Do we extend Eberle? Do we keep Jared McCann and then keep Eberle instead? Keep them both, get rid of them both. Lots of ideas for all of you in the offseason. What's up with the draft? Trade our pick, move up, move down, package somebody in to make another deal. If you are curious about the trade value that we have available to us, looking at the trade block here, it's a way for us to see. This is the trade value on this team right now. Ryan Pulock, wasn't impressed with him. And down the list we go for all of our organizational players. So really a lot to think about because, you know, there could be growth from Suzuki, Mercer, Roseanne. If they're pushing to make the NHL next season, then that would be a whole different story. It's hard to know here in June. But nonetheless, that's why ownership pays us the big bucks. So I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts down here on YouTube in the comments or over on the Discord server. The link for that is in the description. We'd love to have you join the server. I'm not quite sure how long this episode is at the moment, but I might play a little bit of a black screen with some music going. So if that is the case, just let it run for a little bit if it's not too much trouble. Leave a like if you enjoyed this playoffs. It was a heartbreaking end, but we are going to come back stronger next year. Couple heartbreaks makes the victory that much sweeter. And if you're not already subscribed, we're ending off 2021 close to 3,500 subscribers. So we'd love to have you join the team here as well. NHL 22, NHL 07 uploads. On the Twitch page, there's all kinds going on. MLB The Show 21, franchise, Road to the Show. I'd love to also start up an F1 series on the channel, a FIFA 22 series. I have a lot of ideas, so I'd love to hear your thoughts here in the comments, but also in our discussions on the Discord server. A lot more coming your way here in 2022, so make sure that you're subscribed so that you do not miss any of it. And we need your help, so please leave any and all of your thoughts. Looking forward to incorporating them into the next season and seeing you in the 2024 off season. Thank you once again for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in the next one.